And you know me, bro, I never back the early kickoff. And you know me, bro, I never back the early kickoff. Back the early kickoff. And you know me, bro, I never back the early kickoff. Finesse like.
What's going on, people? Welcome to Never Back the Early Kickoff, episode 20. The podcast that keeps you one step ahead of the bookies while having a proper laugh doing it. No filters, no nonsense, just solid picks, proper chat, and a weekly reminder that backing the early kickoff does ruin lives. My name is Liam, and I have a sixth sense for picking players to be carded.
And I'm Josh, and this week, again, I'm a failure.
Mate, this is a recurring theme, this is, mate. This is like back to back to back to back.
Mate, it's been a bad weekend. It's been a bad weekend. It got to a point where I literally felt like an Ian Beale, mate. I've got nothing left. I literally, it was that bad. It was that bad yesterday. Didn't even do anything yesterday. I was just like...
Is that because you've not had much luck betting, or is that because the mighty Toon Army marched into Villa Park and had our way with you? Which one was it?
Well, it was all of the above. All of the above. I was there, mate, live and direct, AJ Tracy. And first off, we played well. Obviously, went on top. And then obviously just sending off. And then as soon as we got a man sent off, I was like, yeah, this is done now.
Do you know what's interesting about the way you all like framing this game? Is the fact that you're like, yeah, we were on top until the red card. Let me just stop you there, because I didn't watch the game live, but I caught up on all the highlights, the extended highlights, because I wanted to come prepared for this.
Oh, okay.
So let's begin then. So you were on top. Well, Tammy Abraham's goal was offside. Let's just start there. So you scored an offside goal to begin with, by a mile offside, which is absolute nonsense. Then Luca Dyche absolutely rattled Jacob Murphy with a tackle that was like above the ankle with force. Should have been a straight red. But the ref goes, nah, just have a yellow, Luca. Don't worry about that. Then your keeper just comes out his goal and sives down Murphy. Again, red card, rightfully so. I don't know what your keeper was doing.
I don't know what he was doing.
Let's move to the second half. Then we put a cross in the box. Luca Dyche handles it about 6 yards inside the box. And the ref gives a free kick outside the box. So I'm just like...
Yeah, I don't disagree. I agree with what you're saying.
It's a good job I wasn't watching that game live, because that ref would have, honestly, would have gone watching that refereeing performance.
Well, that's not what I said. I said we were on top in the first half. That's what I said.
But I don't think you were. I think you scored an offside goal.
We had more possession, more chances, more XG, whatever you want to call it, more corners. We were the better team. Obviously, yeah, the goal was offside, but that is one of those things. We had the better chances. And then obviously, and then Luke, it was definitely a penalty. It was 100% a penalty. And even when he went and drew the line for the free kick, was nowhere near where it actually happened.
No. I mean,
and then Thingy. It was a penalty. Luca Dean, I don't know if it was a sending off or not. Again, referee gave me a card, but the red card, yeah. Obviously, I just don't understand what keepers do. Amy done it last year against United. Like, why are you coming out and smashing someone like that far out? Just let him go past you. If you know you're going to miss it, just let him go past you. Because that way, okay, you might go goal down. It is what it is. But
you're already winning.
In your case, it was equalising. But you're not getting to 10 men then. Like, you literally just put your team under more pressure. I'd rather go 1-0 down or equalise that than just lose the man for the rest of the game. Like, it's actually ridiculous. I don't understand why goalkeepers do it.
No, it's not all goalkeepers. It's brain dead goalkeepers. Like, well,
you used to be a goalkeeper. So, like, what did you do in that situation? Just clatter someone or just let them go past you?
It depends on the context of the game. But in that situation, like, if it's like 90th minute and I've just gone into no man's land, it's different. But if it's the first half and we're winning, and like someone knocks it past me, just let them go.
Yeah.
Like. Because you just got to think to yourself, like, there's no need to bring him down. And I mean, one thing is Jacob Murphy. There's every chance he would have knocked it past the keeper and put it wide on his left foot anyway. But notwithstanding that, just let it go 1-1. You've made a bad decision. Let it go 1-1. Getting sent off, you've just ruined the game. Like, take a red if it's the last 5 minutes or last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Or not that early in the game. It was a shocking mistake from the keeper. But why I wanted to bring that up was because you always harp on about the Morgan Rogers robbery. And I just wanted to show you what happens when a team get a ref against them, making mistake after mistake after mistake, how you handle business. And that is how you handle business. 3 horrible calls from the ref and we still got it done. And then I just want to bring another point to the table as well, because I think it's time
I'll be waiting for this.
it's time we revisit the conversation, because a few weeks ago we were sort of talking about a combined 11, and for some reason I was laughed out of town when I said Tonali's a much better player than Kamara. Now, I'm glad that Sandro Tonali watched this podcast and he thought, you know what? Next time I go to Villa Park, I'm just going to show these Villa fans what I'm about. And the fact he just turned up to your manor, scored 2 goals, took us to the next round of the Cup. Like, there's no way Kamara would ever come to St James's and bag 2 goals. That's never going to happen in his whole career. So, he's never
going to do that again in his career.
Who's not?
Tonali.
You don't think Tonali's capable of scoring 2 goals against Villa again in his career? Of course he is.
Okay. So that's what you say.
Tonali came to your manor, had his way with you, and dispatched you out of the FA Cup because he's a better player than Kamara. And that's the bottom line. Nothing more needs to be said, mate. He just showed up, delivered, and there we go.
Okay, so that's what you think.
That's not what I think, boys. Mate, I watched the extended highlights.
Oh, wow. You didn't even watch the game?
Yeah, I watched the extended...
He done nothing apart from let 2 shots off, that's it.
Mate, it was Valentine's Day, mate. I was on partner duties. But I came back,
saw the extended highlights. Valentine's Day, and I still managed to get to the game.
That's because you don't care about your woman.
I made her come with me.
Exactly my point.
It's got nothing to do with caring about my woman. You
were like, yeah, I made her come with me. Yeah, I thought you did. But end of the day, we deserved to win. We won. Tonali, man of the match performance, 2 goals, easy work. Referee tried to cheat us on 3 occasions, didn't matter. So yeah, very, very good Saturday result for the boys.
I'm glad you took that from the extended highlights.
I did. It was a really good watch. So that was obviously the highlight of the weekend. But did you watch any other games?
I didn't actually. I seen a bit of the. I watched the Blues League game, the penalties of the Blues League game. That made me a bit happy inside.
I didn't actually see a lot of that game.
Well, to be fair, it looked like it would have been a good game to go to. Leeds, obviously Blues. Leeds went 1-0 up, and then Blues scored in the 90th minute to take it to extra time, and then went to penalties, and then they lost on penalties.
Oh, I bet you were quite satisfied with the Blues exiting.
It looked like it would have been a good atmosphere, though. To be fair, like 90th minute goal in the FA Cup to take it to extra time is always a good vibe, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I was saying, mate, it's the hope that kills you. So I bet the Blues fans were like, yeah, we've got half a chance here, and then
they were on top apparently through the game, and just didn't take the chance and hit the post in the 96th.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, not a good weekend for the Midlanders then. I mean, I think the only team that managed to get through from the West Midlands, Wolverhampton Wanderers, getting a little stinky one there at Grimsby. Yeah. I didn't watch that one either, to be honest. I mean, one that I kept a bit of an eye on was Mansfield.
Awesome. Oh yeah. That's
Mansfield
tonight.
beating Burnley. That's shocking.
No. It's thingy tonight, isn't it? Brentford
against Macclesfield.
Yeah, Macclesfield.
I'm watching that. I was half tempted to go, but I'm definitely watching that. It's going to be quality. That is. I mean, Brentford are a good side. Brentford will dispatch them, but God, I'd love Macclesfield to get it done. Magic of the FA Cup,
especially because it's at their ground as well.
I know, absolutely. But I think Brentford are going to take them serious. Like, I think they're going to put out like a good. I think they're going to roll out the kids and the reserves. I think they're going to put out a good team because they're not going to want that to happen to them. And I think Brentford could go quite deep in the FA Cup, to be honest. Like, they got a draw against Arsenal the other day. They beat us comfortably at St James's. They're a good side, and that like Igor Tudor up front just bags for fun.
Yeah, well, moving on to last week, Arsenal. I knew they were going to bottom it at some point. Like the City are going to win the league now.
See, I've thought about this, and I think that's I think it's a little harsh. Like, it's weird because of City's reputation. Whenever they just drop points, no one says anything. City were 2-0 up against Spurs and drew 2-2. Arsenal had done that. Could you imagine that like everyone would have been like bottlers, can't do it, can't hack it. City dropped points against someone else, crap as well, around that time. I can't think who it was. Then City have had games where they've been loads of goals up and then just conceded. I think Fulham, they were like 3-0 up or something. And then
it was 4-3.
And then
Yeah,
it
it's
ended up
4-3.
4-3.
Was it 4-3 or 5-4 the game finished?
Yeah, it ended up something mad. But I just think football. I think football's like a funny. I think football's a funny game because just like Spurs, obviously, if they ever lose a game, they get called Spursy. Then Arsenal, when they're in the title run, like anytime they drop points, they're called bottlers. Going to Brentford and getting a draw is not the worst result in the world. I don't think in isolation.
It's not the worst result in the world, but it's just the reputation that Arsenal have got that every year they just bottle it.
Yeah, I get that, but
And,
I think
and that's the thing. It's just the reputation that you've got, right? Like City have got a reputation for just going on these naughty runs and just stringing together 12, 13 wins on the bounce. And that's what champions do. And that's why I think they've just gone to win it. I know it's not the Kevin De Bruyne City where it's just like, you know what? He just sits forward and it's game time now. It's a different City, but Arsenal, no matter how far you go back the past 25 years, they bottle it every time. And that's why they've got the name of bottlers. And one result, the head just goes, the media just goes, nah, you've done that. And he just gets in their head.
Yeah, but people said that who was it they played the other day in the league and they didn't win? Nottingham Forest, so exactly the same. Like Nottingham Forest, I think they drew 0-0. Everyone's like, bottled it. And then I think they backed that up with like a 4-0 or 3-0 win at Leeds. Then another massive win as well in the league where they dispatched someone easily. So Sunderland, who were a good side, they went and just dispatched them light work. So I don't think Arsenal are battling this. I think Arsenal.
I think because they've got City at the Etihad, I think that's like the big point. And then they've got Spurs, Chelsea, and City all in. I think it's like in 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, they've got a difficult after Wolves on Wednesday. They've got a run of 6 difficult games, but
I think City. The game against City at the Etihad, City will win that.
I don't think they will.
I think they will. I just think like the Liverpool game. I think that's just going to be a massive turnaround for just City just saying go on one of them runs.
I agree with what you said. I don't think it's not the same City. I think they've got too many players who you just don't know what you're going to get out of them.
Yeah, but they've got, like you said, they've got the spine of the defence back. They're not playing Kusanov, who's dog. They've not got that kid in. And they've got Gahey, Aki, and Diaz now.
Yeah,
well, that's good. That's massive.
Yeah, it is. I think Mark Gahey and Semenyo were unbelievable January signings.
And then it looks like Nico O'Reilly's moved into midfield now, so he's playing next to Rodri.
Yeah,
I just think I'm determined to find somewhere I can put on a bet for City to win every game for the rest of the season and win the league.
We'll find where that is and share it with the people because I'm definitely not having that. Do you want to know why? Because they've got to come to. We've got them next.
Yeah, you've got them, and what's that going to do?
We've easy 3 points for City because we've got no Bruno G.
Yeah.
But no, I think Arsenal are going to do it. I don't want them to. I don't want them to because I think it'll be if they throw it away again. I just think it'll be absolutely hilarious, and I think Mikel Arteta will need to be potted. But I think the game that's going to be massive for me is the League Cup final.
They've both got Chelsea as well in the running.
I don't think that matters. I think it's the League Cup final because if Arsenal lose to City in the League Cup final, so that first final of the season they lose and choke that, I think that could have a big impact on them.
I think that's
because then they've got to go to the Etihad and play them like a couple of games later. So if you lose to them at Wembley, then you've got to go and play them again. I just think that'll be playing in their heads and I'll be thinking, we've thrown away the final. We've got to go and get a result there. So I think that League Cup final's massive. But
and the potential for them to play in the Champions League in between those games as well.
Yeah.
If all the results go that way.
Yeah, but it's the same for City.
Yeah.
Well,
like I said, I just think City are going to win every game now in the league and win the league.
I don't understand why he's so confident. Like they only just absolutely scammed one against Liverpool, who were poor at Anfield. But it's when they went to Anfield and
I just think it's the mentality change that can bring.
We'll see.
Well, and then next weekend they've got an easy 3 points. Got you at the Etihad. You're not going to do a thing.
No, not without Bruno. No chance. No chance. Yeah, we'll see. I'm still back in Arsenal. You're back in City. So we'll revisit this in a few weeks, see where we stand. I do hope City win, but I think my head's telling me Arsenal. Any other games that you watched recently? Anything else?
Yeah, there's also been a couple of managerial changes, isn't there, as well? Like Spurs have got in what's his kid's name? Igor Tudor, is it?
Yeah, Igor Tudor.
I've never even heard of him.
He was at Juventus before.
Yeah, well, I looked at his
He did very well.
managerial
He got
record. It
Juventus.
just looked like he's got sacked from everywhere. He's never
Yeah.
lasted more than 6 months, has he? Or just about. I
Yeah.
think that's a poor signing from them. I think they're just relying on getting someone until the end of the season. Surprised you didn't get Ryan Mason back in.
They would have been better off getting Ryan Mason back in. Like, I don't know what this Igor Tudor's going to do. I mean, the funny thing, the thing that really made me laugh, I'll come back to Tudor. The thing that really made me laugh was, do you watch that Stick to Football with, like, Neville, Keane and Ian Wright and that?
Nah, I've not seen
What
it.
was
Well,
really funny, last week's episode was part
with
one
Ange.
with Ange. And then they've got like a part two. And what's funny is like Forest potted Dyche and obviously Spurs have potted Frank. These two ex-clubs, which I thought was so funny. So I'm going to watch that. But with Tudor, I just think that's a shocking appointment. I don't know why. Like, this is the time when Frank got sacked, I just half imagine like Sam Allardyce, Roy Hodgson, just like getting the phones, making sure they got their phones charged to full, mate, like waiting for the call. Because it's the one of them where you just think they're just going to give it to someone who's just going to.
I thought they might have just done a manager swap. I thought Dyche might have gone to Spurs just till the end of the season. Keep him up.
That's the sort of manager you go for, someone that knows the league. Just get nothing special, no frills, just dig out enough points to stay up.
Yeah.
But going for a manager who's like never managed in the Prem before, not exactly got a successful CV, has no links to the club at all in any way, shape or form, when you're in an absolute dogfight, is a poor decision. And the thing is, I said this last week. I said Spurs are in a relegation battle. I said they were my pick to go down. And I knew the game against us was massive. And we're not a good team. And watching us versus a worse team than us was just unbelievable. They've got no ideas, them. So I think Spurs are going. Like, unless they get all their players back soon, i.e. Kulusevski, Kudos, Maddison, unless they're due back within the next 2 to 3 weeks, the Spurs are going, mate, because West Ham, every single game West Ham are in, they look like they're going to get points. Like, Sesko scored an absolute worldie to deny them 2 points against United. They were 2-0 up at Stamford Bridge and chucked it away. And they've won all their other games recently. So, West Ham look banging form at the minute. So, I think Forest and Spurs are in trouble. But Spurs, I think they're going. But then, what were your thoughts on Tudor? Do you think he's just a stupid appointment?
I just was like, who is this guy? I've never even heard of him. I had to literally go and Google his record. And then I seen he'd been at Juventus, and I was like, didn't even know, never heard of him. Didn't even know he was at Juventus. And then, like I said, he just looks like he just gets sacked all over the place. Doesn't look like he does any good. His record is poor. And he's just like you said, why are you getting a manager in like that? I know it's to the end of the season, and then you're going to hope Poch comes back after the World Cup. But it's like, where's your brain cells in all this? Like you said, just go get Dyche for 6 months. It'll keep you up. It's no frills, no gags. But one thing that's guaranteed is you're going to stay in the league. It'll be a shit football, but just last out till the end of the league. Getting a no-name in is literally worse than the worst thing you could do.
No, it is. It is. But the thing is that, what you said there makes sense to me, but Forest have potted Sean Dyche in a relegation battle.
Yeah, but their owner is just ridiculous, though, isn't it? If they've got to run the fourth manager of the season. I don't think I've ever heard that before in my life. 4 managers in one season. And we've still got, was it 12 or 13 games left? You probably could get another one by the end.
Did you hear why they got rid of him?
Why?
So basically, the Marinakis, after they lost to Wolves, no, they drew with Wolves, they didn't even lose, they drew with Wolves.
Yeah.
He went and talked to the players, and the players said, his training regime's too hard.
What?
He said they went
Is that actually serious?
Yeah. He consulted with the players after their poor performance, and they said his training methods are too intense. So that's why our performance was so bad. So the manager parted him because he went and sought counsel from the players, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. Do you know that as well? Sean Dyche had the highest win percentage manager of any Premier League Forest manager. Obviously, it was over a small pool of games, but his win percentage was like 40-something%, and they parted him. And it's like, you're not going to get any. Yeah, all right, you should have beat Wolves, but you absolutely battered them and just couldn't score. Like, I can't believe they got rid of him.
Yeah, I know obviously they didn't get the result they wanted, but when you look at it, they had something like 35 shots, 10 on target. Like, no matter what you do as a manager, if you're getting them stats, you can't, and you don't win, you can't be sacked for that, in my opinion. Like, your team's gone out there, you've set them up, they're doing exactly what you need to do, but just not hitting the back of the net. Like you can't be blamed for them not putting one of 10, like the keeper making 10 saves.
No.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, if gun to your head now, who's going down with Burnley and Wolves? You changing your mind? Because I swear you said like potentially Palace or you said Palace or West Ham. I swear you said Palace or West Ham.
Palace breaking down last week as well to Burnley.
Yeah, no, they'd completely choked. Palace are poor though.
Yeah, I think Palace are still right in there.
But who's he picking? I'm sticking with Spurs.
Palace.
You think Palace?
Yeah, Palace. I think Palace. Like I think Spurs will scrape a few results, but Palace looked really bad, and I thought they looked bad for weeks. Then obviously they drew with Brighton after Brighton got a man sent off, or did they lose to Brighton last week? And then in the week, just completely capitulating against Burnley 2-0. Like Burnley are just horrendous. And then how do you go 2-0 up and then lose 3-2? Like
doesn't
at
make
home,
sense.
like
Doesn't make sense.
If that's happening, like I don't know where you're going to go from there. Like who are you picking up a win against? Trying to beat Burnley at home. It's not even if it was away. Right then, we've caught up on the week. There's been a lot to catch up on. Now let's just get to the main reason why we're here. Talk to me about the betting. What have you been doing? Have you had any winners?
Mate, it's been a solid weekend. I don't like to sort of blow my own trumpet, but very, very happy with my weekend work. And the thing that's mad is, like, I don't usually like FA Cup weekend, and I didn't do any sort of individual prediction videos because I just never know how seriously teams are going to take the FA Cup. Like, are the non-league teams or the lower league teams going to be snapping in? Are the Premier League teams going to have the appetite? Are the players that are coming in who don't usually start in the Prem going to be that arsed? There's so many things you don't really know until like 20, 30 minutes into a game. So I was quite happy that I managed to land a couple. So my main sort of win over the weekend was a double. I picked two players to get booked. One was in the Wigan Arsenal game. Someone called Owen Moxon. The reason I picked him was because after 15 minutes I saw he was marking Eze. So I just thought, if he's going to be on Eze for 90 minutes, surely at one point he's going to get Eze. I mean, that didn't happen at all. What happened was they were like 4-0 down in the last 10 minutes. A ball got played to Norgard and he just chased after Norgard and stamped on him for some reason. No idea why, but I'm not about to complain.
Who cares?
Then I also had somebody called Kumbedi, who plays right back for Wolfsburg, because the new player, mate, who's on my radar, and he's literally nearly in the bracket in the Fantastic Four. He's nearly at that Zach, Abdi, Ezazuli, Cambiani level. He's getting there. He's an emerging talent. Have you heard of someone called Nusa?
Yes. I don't know anything about him.
He's a left winger for Leipzig and he plays for Norway as well. I think he's got quite a lot of assists for Haaland in the Norway's qualification campaign. He's like a left winger, same sort of mould as Cambiani, just gets it, really skillful, really quick, goes over nice and easy. So he's one that's very much on my radar. And it makes me happy because I did want one of these players in the Bundesliga. I've got my one in Spain, got my ones in Italy, got my ones in the Prem. It's nice to have one in the Bundesliga as well. So Nusa, he was up against Kumbedi, who's a right back, who can also play centre half. Kumbedi had fouled him twice. So I was like, right, I need to make a decision here. So I got Kumbedi at like 3-1, Owen Moxon at 9-2, doubled it up. So that was like a really, really nice win. And then who else did I win on? How could I forget? How could I forget? Yeah. Abdi Ezazuli, the man, the myth, the legend, one of the Fantastic Four, lining up against Pablo Maffeo. And I called it last week, mate. I said, if Abdi starts and Maffeo starts, there's only one way this ends up. Do you know how many times Abdi Ezazuli got fouled in that game?
About 6.
Bang on 6. Bang on 6.
I remember checking, I think it was half time and he'd been fouled like 3 or 4 times at half time.
He ended up on 6. He ended up fouled 6 times. Maffeo only ended up with 2 of the fouls. I think it was Samu Costa who kept fouling him the most, but Maffeo got his booking, which was always going to happen. I had no doubt about that. So what I did,
I'm annoyed with myself because I looked at half time and it was 4-1 on 3-6-5. And and he'd done one foul and I just bottled it.
Yeah, I mean my 3-6-5 was playing up quite a lot over the weekend, which was annoying. But so I put it like a first half foul into the first. It was 8-11 to do a first half foul again, which I thought was ridiculous, Maffeo. So I put like 60 on him to do a first half foul because I was like 100% sure that's going to happen. And then that returned 103. So I just rolled the 103 onto him for second half to get booked. But I only got 5-2. I only got 5-2 because I couldn't get into my 365 app. I was going to withdraw it and then just place it on 365, but I couldn't get into my app for some reason. So that was very annoying. But that landed like I think it landed 300 and something return. Yeah. So very good weekend, mate. They were two really, really solid wins. Because my other one was like a 20-1 winner. So you got that winner and then the Abdi one. So no, really, really good weekend. Losses. I didn't actually have any hackers on. I don't do hackers for a FA Cup weekend. I placed one on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Placed one on Sunday, which has got 2 wins. One, both of them were 90th minute winners. One was Feyenoord, who I didn't even realise kicks off early in the day. I thought Feyenoord were kicking off in the evening. So when I went back and checked, Feyenoord won 1-0 and they scored a 92nd minute pen. And then Celtic were 2-0 down, and I thought, well, this is enough. This is hackers in the bin. I'm going to have to restart this one. Then they come back and score the 97th minute winner. So I've got 2 out of 10, both with 90th minute winners, mate. So that's always a good omen.
Yeah.
So I've got 8 more on that. So it's still a long way to go on. 8 more on that. And what's funny is last week I said I'm not going to dabble in the lower leagues. I've definitely got like 6 teams in League 1 and League 2 this week.
Oh yeah, this week.
Yeah, I think I've got Salford on there.
Yeah,
Salford.
Salford on my list.
I've got Cambridge, Salford.
Yeah.
I want to say potentially Lincoln.
Yeah. All them are on my list for the week.
I think I've got Cardiff as well.
You got Cardiff.
Cardiff for home. Come on.
Cardiff at home to Wimbledon.
Yeah, I think I've got Cardiff. And then I've got a couple more in League 1 as well. So you got
Bromley at home to Cheltenham.
Yeah, Bromley. Got Bromley.
They're the only team that are unbeaten.
In fact, I'll pull it up now. I've
probably got all the teams on my list. I've literally got.
So I've got. So you see, we've got left to go. Barca away at Girona tonight.
Yep.
I've got Cardiff at home to Wimbledon, Lincoln at home to Northampton, Stevenage at home to Port Vale, Bromley at home to Cheltenham, MK Dons at home to Crawley, Salford at home to Newport, Arsenal away at Wolves. That's the 8 I've got left, and that's returns 1,300. So I'm not
all them teams I've literally got on my list.
Yeah, I'm not that confident because when you go below the Premier, anything can happen. So if I can get through to because Arsenal are the last team on Wednesday, all the others are Tuesday. So if for some reason I can get to that point, that's coming in. So yeah, mate. So that's where I'm at with Ackers, and then my only one that I lost that I was really annoyed about was Aaron Barney against Vinny Jr.
Yeah,
so he's right back for Sociedad, and he ended up fouling Vinny 3 times, and he gave away a penalty against Vinny, and he was mouthing off at the ref. And sometimes you're just thinking, like, what's it going to take for this kid to get booked? Like, you just think, but what is it going to take? So somehow he escaped the 90 minutes without a yellow. But at the end of the day, mate, still landed some decent winners over the weekend. So I'm more than happy with my weekend's work. That was me. What about you? I mean, at the start, you were sort of alluding to not having the greatest of weeks again. Very much sounding like Tottenham Hotspur, man. Week after week after week, just not getting it done.
Yeah, mate. It's been a frustrating, really frustrating weekend. So I put a knacker early last week, and then I did have United to beat West Ham. You were right. I was wrong. You weren't confident on that. So I admit that. I admit the flaws. But then the one that really done my head in and drove me insane was Friday night, both PSG and PSV.
Oh, yes. I did see that PSV one.
And PSG.
Do you want to know about Friday? Because I was thinking about putting one on Friday, but then by the time I'd finished work and stuff, I'd missed the kick-off. I think it was for Galatasaray or Fenerbahce. There was someone kicking off at 5.
Yeah, I think it was Galatasaray. They went like 1-0 up after like 30 seconds. I think it was literally like the first minute, but they were like 1-11 anyway, so I didn't even bother putting them on.
Yeah, so I thought I missed that, and there were loads of good games on Friday, so I thought, I can't be bothered now. So what were you saying? PSV on the Friday?
PSV and PSG. So let me just read out the stats. Obviously, the PSG were away to Rennes. PSG expected goals 3.59, scored 1. Rennes 1.36, scored 3. PSG 6-7% possession, 22 shots, 7 on target, 9 big chances, and they lost 3-1.
Did they have the big three up front?
Yeah,
Or
they
did
had
he start
Kamara,
with them?
Dyche, and Dembele.
All started.
Yeah, and then the midfield was Zaire Emery, Vitinha, Neves, Hakimi, Mendes, Pacho. The only player that was missing was Marquinhos. And then they had that Zenabri, I think. Zenabri?
Yeah, the
Whatever
guy
you
from
say.
Bournemouth. Yeah.
Was it Bournemouth he used to play for?
Yeah, Zabani. Yeah.
Zabani, that's it. Apart from him, it's pretty much their first team 11.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Kavra, Dembele, do out front. So when I seen that lineup, I was like, I'm not even worried about this. And yeah, 3-1. 3-1. 3.59 expected goals. I don't think I've seen higher in a team lose by that. So that was ridiculous. And then PSV, again, both teams top of the league. PSV, I think, had won something like 20 games against Volendam or something like that. I wrote it down in my preview. But yeah, there's 2.12 expected goals, 19 shots, 5 on target, 3 big chances. And then, yeah, Volendam went 1-0 up early. PSV equalised, and then Volendam scored late on to win the game in the 87th minute.
But what I would say is, like, I know it's easy for me to say, but with PSV, they've pretty much already won the league. Like, so I think when they're playing teams that have got something to play for, i.e., this team who are fighting for their lives, like they've pretty much. I think there's something stupid like 18 points clear PSV. It's something ridiculous.
Yeah, 14. So it would have been
14.
17 to 1.
And how many games are left in that league? Probably about 10 or something.
Yeah, there's not many games.
I think that PSV are a team to be mindful of putting on just because they've got the league sewn up. But that's still unlucky though.
Yeah, like and it was for like 1,700 quid as well.
Oh,
So like,
and what was the fold?
I had 2 on. One was like a 10-fold,
Yeah.
and then the other one was like a 12-fold. Sorry, one was a 10-fold and one was a 12-fold. And then also I had another one let me down. Another one team let me down on a Saturday in Switzerland with St. Gallen. They were at home to Grasshoppers. It's second at home versus second bottom, I think it is. Yeah. And then they ended up, they didn't win. I think they drew 0-0.
Oh.
So yeah, let's look at St. Gallen because like this was really frustrating as well. So this is when I went back in on Saturday night. So St. Gallen were at home. Let me get it up. Yeah, 0-0 it was. So standings, right. They're at home, second in the league versus second bottom of the league. In the game, the stats show St. Gallen. To be fair, it was a pretty even game. It was pretty shit, to be fair, but what you'd expect for second versus second bottom, they didn't go out there and just pound all over them like the other two. But still, second at home to second bottom, you'd expect a better showing, wouldn't you? But yeah, looking at the stats, it wasn't that convincing, but just more frustrating than anything. So they let me down for another 300 quid on a 7-fold. So it's been a frustrating weekend. And then there's just been some dog shit results as well. Like in Slovakia, Slovan Bratislavia, they're the team that win the league every year. They were at home to someone like near the bottom and they just chucked it in the bin 2-0.
You just can't justify like results like that.
I know. It's like a good team playing at home, especially when they're at home. Away, you can half consider that, but when they're at home, like, they definitely should be winning easy. So yeah, mate, frustrating, but we move on. We go again.
Weekend of near miss. It sounds like a weekend of near misses, mate.
Getting closer. And I know one weekend it's just going to drop. So we discussed last week. I need to move on and go on to next week and get another W under my belt. So
you need to sort yourself out. That's what you need to do.
Well, that is pathetic, isn't it? So what are you looking at this week?
Well, I always enjoy when the Champions League fixtures are back around. So we've got Champions League this week. And then Arsenal play Wolves midweek, which is a bit random, but I'm not complaining. And then there's full fixture set on the weekend. So there's plenty of games to sort of have a look at. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do like videos for the Champions League games once lineups are out, because again, I don't know who's going to be starting, who's going to be matching up with who. I need to check all the referees and which referees look like they're going to dish loads of cards. So I'll do a video on Tuesday and Wednesday, sort of picking out the main players to keep an eye on. But for the Prem on the weekend, the fixtures that I like the look of are Newcastle City. So that's Saturday, 8 o'clock. When Newcastle play City, there's always cards in that fixture. I'd usually say Bruno G because he gets booked every single time we play City, but he's out long term. So I would say the players that I think are likely to go in would be Nunes against Gordon. Gordon got him booked at St James's, so I don't see that how he's not going to get him booked when I play at the Etihad, especially with us playing on the counter. So I think Nunes will go in. I think Tonali's going to go in. I think Tonali.
Really?
Yeah, he does a lot. He does a lot of pressing, Tonali, and he'll be holding that midfield together on his own. So I think Tonali will be worth a shout as well. So I think those would be my main two for that game. In terms of the other big game that weekend, you've got North London derby, like you said, so Arsenal Spurs. That's going to be cards, and cards, that is, because you've got Arsenal going for the title, Spurs trying to avoid relegation. You've got the added bit with the new manager in as well. So Spurs should put up a bit of resistance. So in that game, I think Jed Spence against Saka. If Jed Spence starts, or if a doggy starts, whoever's playing left back basically against Saka. If it's a doggy, definitely. If it's Jed Spence, I think he might get one as well. I think Paulinho sort of playing up against whoever's playing Cam for Arsenal. I've got a feeling he might play Eze, because Eze scored a hat-trick in the last time they played.
Yeah.
And I think Odegaard got injured against Brentford.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, so it looks like Odegaard might be out.
So if Eze is playing, then I think Paulinho, I think Spence or a doggy, and I think for Arsenal, it will be, I think it'll end up being like a random one, like Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, he looks one
Gabriel
late.
Jesus getting one coming on late on and just acting an absolute dickhead. So those will be my picks for that game. I think I'm also going to probably have a double Leeds Villa as well. 3 o'clock on Saturday. I think that could be an interesting game. I think it's going to be really, because again, Leeds fighting for their lives, Villa pushing for Champions League still. So I think that'll have a few cards in it as well. I really fancy Ethan Ampadu against Morgan Rogers. Whoever's playing defensive mid for against Villa, I always think's going in. I'll just see Ampadu getting caught wrong side and bringing him down. Ampadu got booked against Villa at Ellen Road. He brought down Ollie Watkins on the counter. So I think Ethan Ampadu will definitely go in against Morgan Rogers in that game. And then sort of games across the continent. One I'm looking at, Betis versus Real Vallecano. I think that's on Saturday. Left back for Vallecano is called Pacho. He's only got one booking this season, but he usually gets like 7 or 8 bookings a season. He'll be against Anthony. So I think that he'll get one against Anthony. And then the right back called Ratiu is on 6 cards this season, and he's lining up against the main man Abdi Ezazuli. So I think both fullbacks for Vallecano were going in. So that's where I'm at with players the main games that I'm looking at, and players that I think are going to get booked. And do you know, actually, because I mentioned him earlier, that Nusa for Leipzig.
Yep.
They're playing against Dortmund, which I think will be a big game in Germany.
Yeah, that's a big game.
And the right wing back for Dortmund is Ryerson, who doesn't get booked too often, but if he does get one, it tends to be in a big game. So I can see Ryerson being caught wrong side against Nusa and pulling him back at some point. So I think he's worth a shout in that fixture.
So I guess you've picked some of them out already because you've got them on your racker. So looking at, I've got a little 8-fold lined up, and it's at the moment when I've checked, it's 31-1 plus 20% bonus. Most of the teams are at home apart from Arsenal. So Arsenal away to Wolves. They need to win. Obviously, Wolves are poor. Cardiff at home to Wimbledon. Lincoln at home to Northampton. Stevenage at home to Port Vale. Bromley at home to Cheltenham. Cambridge at home to Colchester. MK Dons at home to Crawley. And Salford at home to Newport. I think because they're all at home, that just gives, apart from Arsenal, that just adds a little bit of help. So, yeah, that's my 8-fold for the week, around 31-1, and then plus the bonus. So if you put a tenner on that, that's probably about a 400 quid return.
Nice. Nice. And have you got any others that you're putting on, or are you just doing for that? Like you
Yeah,
haven't, like,
I'll do
or
through the
anything?
week and I'll put some on for the weekend as well. So as usual, I'll get on the posted and the reasons why that they all need that I'm picking those teams and looking at the stats and the background between them, because that always helps. But there's always going to be an upset. Look at PSG and PSV. That is just outrageous. As usual, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I'm hoping for a better week this week. Leon's hoping for the same as last week or better.
More of the same. More of the same.
So good luck. Peace out and have a good week.
Until next time, and don't forget, Sandro Tonali is a much better player than Kamara.
In your dreams.
And don't forget to tune in next week for Never Back the Early Kickoff. Thanks for watching. Follow us across socials for more. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Please gamble responsibly. 18+.